my experience, if that's okay, Mars. I know that's your pitch. So my name's Adam. I was in Islamabad working with the UN, and I was there for about a month. And I was there in 2009, so this is when the Pakistani military had put an offense against Waziristan, which is where a lot of the quote-unquote terrorists were. So, I was there sort of like, I'm brown and proud, I can do what I want. And then, 30 days into it, someone comes into our office, he penetrates security, and he blows himself up. I was sitting about 30 feet from where the bomb was, I didn't see him. I lost part of my brain, so part of my brain was blown out. My left ankle was just ruptured. I was basically on the floor, just bleeding out. Some guy came up, picked me up on his shoulders, and took me to the hospital. The girl who sat across from me, Farzana, who was 19, all of her family had invested in her college education so she could get a well-paying job. And in a country like that, that's very important. She died. She died instantly. There was 3 other people who died. There was Abdul Wahab was a father, 2. You had Gul, who was a mother, 2. She was a receptionist. And you had Bhutan, who had a young son. He was in Iraqi. So all these people that died, they were Muslim people working for the UN in a Muslim country. And the people that were injured, including myself, were also Muslim. So what I've heard tonight, what we've said, I think what Imam Zuhaib and what Adil Yusli said was that this happens, right? And I'm a living example of that fact. Terrorism is indiscriminate. They see no sort of anyone's an enemy, and they'll go after them, they'll kill you, they take your life. It's very violent. But these are talking points. And although true, my question is, how do you respond, right? So what do we respond with to quote-unquote potential terrorists, or who might be radicalized, or do become radicalized? So how do you actually turn them, right? So what do you, when you have the opportunity to speak to them, you're not going to just give them talking points that we stated today, mention facts or whatnot. That's not going to do anything. So sort of my question, and what I've been trying to understand after going through that experience, and I think the conversation is about, how do we actually respond to that? Do we just, ostracize that group as they're the others or the extremists? They have a warped worldview, and there's nothing we can do about it, or is there something that we can, and